Jumping on for a quick one. Come and say hello. TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. How are we all? Hope we're all good. Last live of the week. Yes, that is what we are doing. So I used to do a live on a Saturday morning. Occasionally I do the odd live on a Saturday morning still. I did one last week. But if I can't do a live on a Saturday morning, I'm trying to sort of nip on here and do a little last live of the week sort of sign off. I'm hearing this. It's a bit cold today. I don't know what it's like where you are, but it is a little bit fresh here in good old Lancashire. Yeah, so I've been sat in my t-shirt and I'm a little bit chilly willy. So I have stuck on the old vest. I have been challenge check-ins all day. I'm getting there. I broke the back of them. We're not a million miles away. I made myself a little Coke Zero with lime. I've got a few to go. I've got a few final challenge check. I think I've got 3, maybe 4 to go. So we're not a million miles away. I'm going to do this live for half an hour. I might try and get another one done. Then I'm going to go and have some tea. Then I'll be back in here. And then we should. I'm aiming to get done for about 8 o'clock tonight. If I can get done work finished for 8 o'clock tonight, I'll be happy. I'll have a little bit to do tomorrow. But yeah, the weekend's kind of here. We're not a million miles away. We're not a million miles away. And I am looking forward to the weekend. I said this yesterday. Just been struggling a bit for motivation this week. Just kind of like, I'm slipping in. And I know what it is. I'm slipping into holiday mode. That's what it is. I'm slipping into holiday mode. But you can't go into holiday mode too early. I'm not slipping into holiday mode in terms of my eating. My eating's been good. My training, everything like that. The weight loss package is good. I think we work, really. I'm just ready for a break. Anyway, I'll be refreshed after this weekend, ready for next week. And then that week before going on holiday, I always find it a bit of a horrible week because I always have so much to do. I set myself probably impossible tasks, if I'm being honest with you. Anyway, it is what it is. I am going to get this week's worth of calories up today. I have edited it. I've just not watched it back. I like to give it a little watch back. So I'm going to get that up shortly. And I'll get it uploaded. It might be like 7 o'clock tonight, but worth of calories will be out tonight. That will be happening. Right, should we do a top 5 this afternoon? What we're saying, it's summer, in it. Let's go this afternoon. As always, this is a weight loss live, guys. Any questions, please get them in. Faye's in at number 1. Helen's in at number 2. Kelly C's in at number 3. Paul is in at number 5. Paul, I have seen you've left me a voice now. I will get to it. I'm just, what am I doing? I am mooching my way through all the check-ins and stuff. Once I get through that, I will catch up on a little bit of admin. Because even I know the challenge is over, but is it okay? I still sent the screenshots with my check-ins. Just told me, yeah, of course it is. Absolutely, guys. Anyone that does a check-in, yes, the challenge is over. And when we do the challenge, I do ask you guys to send screenshots of calories, screenshots of steps, just as a little proof that this is what you've been doing. If you want to carry on sending those in, carry on sending them in. That's absolutely fine. The more data you give me, the better I can be as a coach. So, yeah, even though the challenge is over, it will be back 3 months. 3 months, it will be back. But yeah, and it's amazing. I'm doing these challenge check-ins now, and I remember setting it up saying it'd be finished for the 6th of June. And like when I started doing the challenge it was cold, it was dark going dark at like 6 o'clock at night time. It's amazing how quickly it goes. Yes, Kirsty, that's Kirsty on YouTube. Of course you can. Lynn, your challenge check-in is next. You are the next online. So I've still got yours to do. I've still got Dan's to do. Still got. I think I've got Claire's to do. I think I've got 3 more. Oh, I've not got a stable connection. Hang on 1 second. I'm back. Sorry, it did say I had an unstable connection, so I've just switched over to my booster. I don't know why I wasn't on my booster. Anyway, I've been in here all bloody afternoon. Lynn, yeah, you are next. Amy, good evening. Jane, good evening. Just been making party bags for Liam's birthday. Happy birthday. When is Liam's birthday? Is he 16? Is that his 16? Is it a sweet 16 coming up, Paul? I'm positive he said he's 15. When is it Liam's birthday? Send him a big happy birthday from me, please. Anna's in. Afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Anna. And Donna's in. Good evening, good evening, good evening. James in, good evening, mate. Just come back from 12-day holiday and £8 up, still okay with that. You should be soon. You know, at the end of the day, what we need to accept is when we go on holiday, will we gain some body fat? Yes. Is all the weight gain from holiday fat? No. I guarantee, Sue, like you might end up, if you've just come back yesterday, today, I get it. You might be like, I'll start again Monday. I'm all right with that mentality at times. I always think we should set ourselves a cut-off point and a restart point. I'm going on holiday on a Saturday. I will be back for lunchtime on the Saturday. When am I going to start tracking calories again? It will be on the Monday morning. I do like a UK treat of non-tracking. It's very rare I do it. Christmas tends to happen. And what I mean by that is when I get to an airport, I'm not tracking a single calorie. When I'm back in the airport, I might start again. But it's very rare I'm in this country and I don't track. Christmas, I think, is about it, really. Maybe if we have a weekend away or something like that. So it is nice to have a day or two. So I'm back on the Saturday afternoon from Benidorm in a couple of weeks. But I will not start my app back up until Monday. But I guarantee, Sue, if you get back things, maybe even if it's on Monday, and you weigh yourself, I mean, I don't weigh it all the time, but if you did weigh yourself, let's say on Friday, a week today, I reckon you might be £2 up still, if that, you know. So, yes, we should gain weight on holiday. It's part of being on holiday. Lauren, good afternoon. Right, let me scan up and refresh. He will be 16 on the 13th. This was part of my voice note query. He's very excited. Right, leave it with me, Paul. I will get to it. When is the 13th? Is that today? Is it Friday the 13th? Not today. A week today. Right, so you're definitely getting organised. I like that. I do like a good bit of pre-organisation. Let's see. From the live earlier, and I was saying Don 1990 asked me the other week about how I became a personal trainer, or or what part. And she might have just been like, Donnie might have just been interested in did you go to college? Did you do it online? But I am going to do a podcast on it. I think it'll be a semi-interesting podcast. How I went from being £500 to being a personal trainer in 5 years. So obviously it'll give a little bit of a rundown of my weight loss journey from 2014 to kind of 2018, 2019. But I'll talk more about how I got into the fitness industry, how I got into exercising myself and stuff like that. So I'll go into a little bit more details of that. So I'm going to record that next week. So I'll record that next week. I'm going to do 2 podcasts. Someone asked me about how to stop weight loss being, or someone asked a question about, their weight loss journey is quite overwhelming. So I'm going to do that as well. I'm going to try and do 2 podcasts. I'm going to try and do 2 podcasts next week, release one next week, and then I'll save one for when I'm away on holiday. So it'll just give you something to kind of watch, as it were, if you are bored while I'm away. Well, hello, boss. I was making a video on TikTok when your message came through. My message come through. Not a problem at all. Yes, I'm here. I'm only on for about half an hour, guys. Becky Mitchell, good evening. I've just been lodge holiday and put on £5 in 5 days. Yeah, it happens. Again, what we need to understand is a set of scales shows weight gain. It does not show fat gain. If you've gone on holiday for a few days and you've eaten what you wanted, you've not got £5 fatter. Right? By eating more unhealthier foods, more refined carbs, more sugars, more salt, that causes excess water retention. By just increasing your food intake, you will have more stored food. We have an average of food in our body, right? So at this current moment in time, I have a certain amount of undigested food, oranges actually, sat in my stomach, maybe a little bit still left in there from lunch as well. I have got semi-digested food in my small intestine. I've got fully digested food in my large intestine. And then some of that food, not to be too graphic, is also going to be sat in my bowel, waiting to come out into the toilet. All right. We've always got that moving through our system. Yeah. And sometimes the amount of food in our stomach will be more than others. Certainly will be after a holiday because you've eaten more. The amount of food in my small intestine will be more than other times. Certainly will after a holiday because I've eaten more. Right? So if we have periods where we just eat a bit more food, our average food weight is going to go up. When we come back from holiday and we go back into our normal eating pattern, the average food weight will drop down. So we kind of get reverse whooshes from holiday. I've never called it that before, actually. So I've talked about the whoosh effect before, where when you start a weight loss journey, you start eating healthier, moving more, drinking a bit more water. The first couple of weeks of your weight loss journey, your average water weight, food weight, and water retention reduces alongside you losing body fat if you're in a calorie deficit. And what that does is the first couple of weeks of a weight loss journey, we see much bigger losses than we should be seeing. So, if you're in a 3,500 calorie deficit a week, that's £1 a week of fat loss. So if I'm in a calorie deficit and losing £1 a week, then in a couple of weeks I should see £2 loss. So why do we see like an £8 loss in the first couple of weeks? Because we get this kind of what we call whoosh effect. Well, when you have a period of maybe overindulgence, it might be Christmas, it might be going on holiday, it might just be you've been really rubbish with being on plan and just not tracked a single thing and overeating. You can get what's called a reverse whoosh effect, right? Where you'll get a false negative based on the scale. So you've not necessarily gained body fat, or the gain is always body fat. You've just increased some averages within your body. And then when you go back eating, you'll get that whoosh effect again because it'll come back down, right? And that's part of understanding how scales work and creating a happier relationship with weight loss and being on the scales. Jenny Radcliffe, happy Friday. Happy Friday to you, Jenny. Yes, we do love a Friday, don't we? Do you have any protein boxes left? I was wanting to buy one next week. Donna, in all honesty, I don't think I have. Someone literally that's never bought one before has just ordered one now, and I've not even advertised them. Ryan and Nicole always have one, and they've ordered them. I've not sent them to them because they're away. I don't think I have. Let me have a little look. Donna. I certainly haven't got a protein, but I think a good few bits from. I don't think I've got a June one. If you've had, I might have a bit of stock left where I can make you one up if anyone wants a few different protein bars, but I don't think I have. I'll have a look and I'll WhatsApp if I have. TLTM Hunger Cravings have been off the scale today. Went for an extra walk to stay out of the cupboards. Sometimes we need anything as a distraction. And sometimes if it's time of the month and the hunger demons hit, sometimes you just need to roll with it. I mean that. Sometimes you just need to go, do you know what? The hunger demons have hit a little bit. It's time of the month. Do you know what? That is not as good as a normal Coke Zero. Rachel really likes these ones with like lime or lemon in. I find it a bit, it's not as good as a normal Coke Zero. I must say this month's box was banging. Helen there, just rubbing it in a little bit. I would say this month's Boss Your Protein box, I actually wish I bought another round. Is the best protein box I think I've done this year. I think it's up there. It's definitely up there. There are some absolutely awesome bars in this month's box. New ones that I've never had before. Really, really good. Jenny Ratcliffe, I have a question. I'm going to have enchiladas for tea. Not my pizza enchiladas, Jenny. See, I got a box thing. How can I count the calories in that? Any ideas? What do you mean? You mean like an old El Paso? Jenny, is that what you're saying? Give me a little bit more details. Oh man, it's the first one I've missed in ages. Donna, it's been the best I've had from you. Cheers, Helen. I thought, do you know what? What I've started doing with the Boss Your Protein boxes is I started getting the stock a little bit earlier, and then having and then trying them myself. And I'm kind of like, if there's a bar in there that I'm like, that's really rubbish, I might like replace it with something like that. Or just to big up the box a little bit, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna have one box myself and try some of these products. So if I'm left with some stock at the end, I'm like, right, I've had the box, it's great, or and I'll always be honest with you guys. I mean, I always try and create a good box anyway, but yeah, I'm sorry that this month, if you missed out on this month's box, it was an absolute. It's so good. I'm like, I feel like ordering the stock, like at least half. There's definitely a few of the bars again and putting them in next month. I might actually look because there were a few different brands as well that I got this month that I'd never had before. I might look for the same brands but in slightly different flavors because some of them were. Sorry, Donna, I'll stop talking about it now. It was my birthday. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They are always good. No, I'll hold my hands up. I always try and do my best to make sure they're as good. But there are certain boxes that are like, top tier. It was my birthday yesterday and still tracked, but I didn't mind if I went over 1,500. Do you know what? And that's a good attitude to have. I would say, look, if it's your birthday, it's free. Calories are free. You don't track on your birthday. Or if you've picked, your birthday might be on a Wednesday, but you're like, I'm celebrating it on Saturday. Free day. Don't track those calories. Go and enjoy your birthday. But if you do track, that's absolutely fine. But you just need to have the attitude like Tony's had there. Got 1,500 over. It's my flipping birthday. Why not? If you stick to your calories for the rest of the week, Tony, you're still going to be in a good deficit. So it's all good. Right. Jenny's got an old El Paso. Do you know what, Jenny? I've never had one. I haven't. Never done an old El Paso kit, really. Maybe I've done. Maybe I have. I can't quite remember. But basically, if you've got an old El Paso kit, they're literally. I remember watching some guy did a video on him the other day. And he said, and he was pretending to be like one of the creators of old El Paso, and he was like, "I've got a great idea. What? I'm going to create this taco kit. Oh yeah. And what's it going to have in it? Is it going to have chicken in it? Oh no. We're not going to give him any of the ingredients. What do you mean? Well, we're not going to give him the chicken or the veggies or anything like that. Well, what are you doing then? Well, what we'll do is we'll just put some tortillas in. And the guy was like, you can just buy them anyway. Yeah, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some tortillas in a box, right? And then I'm going to put a seasoning in the box. He said, well, you can buy taco seasoning. Yeah, but you can't buy both together in a box. So I'm going to do that. And then everything else that you need to make tacos, they'll have to buy it extra. And I was absolutely laughing. I was like, it's absolutely bang on. Like, if I want tacos, I'll just go buy some tortillas and buy a taco kit. I've never bought an old El Paso, I don't think. But literally with an old El Paso, I know sometimes you have like the salsas or something like that. Literally, literally. All I would do, Jenny, is there should be a serving size on there. So they might be like, right, when you look at the nutritional label on anything, there should be a serving size. So there should be a per 100 grams, which is on every nutritional label by law. And then there should be a serving size. And it should tell you what that serving is. So just scan that. And if you're like, yeah, but one serving meal is 2 tacos, like there's 4 servings in the box, and I'm actually going to have the equivalent of half the box, and just track it as 2 servings. I honestly wouldn't look into it too much, or you could just track it all separately. Things like seasonings and salsas, I wouldn't really track anyway. They're practically calorie free. The only thing you need to track is either the crispy taco things, and just try and find out. I mean, let me have a look. Let me go on to NutriCheck and see what's coming up with an old El Paso. Right, what did right, the old El Paso, this cheesy baked enchilada kit. What else? What are there any other enchiladas? Let me put in old El Paso and see if there's any other enchilada kits in there. Right, there is cheesy baked enchilada kit, the old El Paso, the meal enchiladas baked chicken. Then there's another cheesy baked. There's old El Paso extra mild enchilada kit. I don't know. If I was buying one, I'd straight go for cheesy baked. Let me click on cheesy baked. So it says each enchilada 83 grams, which includes tortilla, sauce, and seasoning mix, is 152 calories. So your enchilada is 152 calories plus your chicken and your peppers that you put in it, right? So let's say you had 100 grams of chicken breast, that's about 110 calories. And then if you add your veggies, so I would say each enchilada is going to be about 300 calories, right? So if you have two, it's 600 calories. So just track the kit and then add your chicken and that on extra. That's what I'd be doing. And then learn from your mistakes and don't buy another one and just make your enchiladas. Just buy some taco seasoning, buy some wraps, right? Wrap it up, put your own tomato sauce and cheese on top, and that just makes it a lot easier. Takeout one works out cheaper than buying separate. Oh, does it? I don't know. Maybe it does. Yeah, maybe I can't see an advantage of it, but yeah, it could be a cost thing. It could be. Fish and chip day today. I had fish and chips last night. I had fish and peas. I didn't have any chips. I just had a large, lightly battered fish and some mushy peas. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, but my birthday is a week before Christmas. That's all right. That's all right. You get a free day, 7 days, and you get a free 7 days. Does that make sense? So if your birthday's like 17th, 18th of December, you get a free calorie day then. And then from my Christmas cutoff is always God. I mean, at the end of this month, we're closer to Christmas, next Christmas, than last Christmas. But what is Christmas cutoff? My Christmas cutoff is always around the 23rd. What's it going to be this year? Oh, it's a tricky one this year. It's a tricky one. Ooh. Because, I'll tell you why it's a tricky one. Christmas is on a Thursday this year. So do I go full 2 weeks this year? Do I finish on the Sunday, the 21st? I know we're talking about Christmas. Do I finish on Sunday the 21st and come back on the 5th? So I'm definitely going to start tracking back on the 5th of Jan, right? So I normally start tracking back on the 2nd of Jan, which would be a Friday. I might, but I'll definitely probably start back on the 5th. So because of that, I'll probably go, do you know what? Actually, it'll be different this year because Rachel's working now. It'll be when she finishes work. So if she's working all the way up to Christmas, if she works Christmas Eve, which I think she says they do, they literally go in Christmas Eve, get paid for the day. They literally go in Christmas Eve, don't do anything, go home at dinner, go home at 12. So everyone's like, rather than booking a day's annual leave, we'll go in for a couple of hours. We play party games, get a pizza at dinner time, and then everyone goes home. So if that's the case, I'll probably track all the way up to the 23rd. And then so I'll have 12 days. 12 days off tracking. Can't believe we're looking at Christmas. Stop looking at Christmas, Neil. Forget that. I love discussing Christmas cutoffs, even if it's June. Yeah, absolutely. I'm kind of like looking at it there. I'll see where I'm at in my journey. I might go the 21st this year. I might go the full hog and have a full 2 weeks off tracking. I might finish on the Sunday, right? And then start again 2 weeks on the Monday, which would be a full 14 days off from tracking, which, do you know what? I'm all right with after last Christmas and how well I get back into it in the new year. Yeah, I'm kind of all right with that. Joy's in. Hi all. Hello, Joy. I need to plug my phone in. My phone is running. I've had my vlogging camera plugged in. That badger. But that is going away. That is going away until next week. I'm going to try and do a shopping vlog next week. I threatened it in my last vlog. Sainsbury's. I don't shop at Sainsbury's really. We don't really have one that's like dead convenient to us. But it's somewhere different, isn't it? And sometimes you see some different products. You see some home brand products. Different things are sold in. Certain products are exclusive to certain supermarkets. So I've done an Asda vlog. I've done a Tesco vlog. I think have I done a Morrison's vlog? Might not have done a Morrison's vlog. I might do Morrison's then. I don't know. I'm going to have a look through. I've got a Morrison's one to do, Sainsbury's one to do. I want to do a little one as well. A new little one. I have done one little one before. I know I do a lot of Aldi ones because it's the place that I tend to shop the most. I will do that next time. No, I'm only being a bit. To be fair, like I say, if you're using NutriCheck, it sort of breaks down your old El Paso, and then you just need to add what chicken and veg. You know. Hi, how about a live workout for us to follow on YouTube? No, I'm not a personal trainer online, and I'm not interested in being. There's too many of those out there, and I don't mean that rude. And I've had loads of people, and I used to do them on when I first started doing TikTok, and this where I'm at now. This used to be the RLB gym, and when this was the RLB gym, I used to do some workouts and post them on my TikTok and stuff like that. But no, my world, the world of personal training for me online is no. I'm just a weight loss coach. Don't get me wrong. I have toyed with going back into personal training a day or two a week, and I've kind of toyed with it a little bit. It's an extra sort of revenue. I miss it. I do miss the interaction, but now I'm back teaching a couple of fitness classes a week. I'm doing Tuesday nights now. My Tuesday nights, by the way, my Tuesday night spin class is now a permanent thing. I've decided to take it on permanently. I'm enjoying it. So I swapped the weight loss coaching lives round 11 a.m. on a Tuesday and then 5 p.m. on a Thursday. They're going to stay that way round so I can go and do my spin class. But yeah, it just is what it is. All right, mate. Sorry for all the questions before. Dan, it's absolutely fine. Dan's done his challenge checking today. Sent him over his points, and he was just trying to work out how. I don't even know how I do the bonus points myself, to be honest with you. So I do. So with the challenge check-ins, I'll try and explain it to you guys because if a few guys listen. So with the challenge check-ins, you get a maximum of 12 points each check-in, right? So you get points for sending all the bits and pieces over. You then get a couple of bonus points per challenge check-in, depending on how well you do. So, if you do get a gain and there's no general reason for getting that gain, you might lose half a point here or there. It's not a weight loss challenge, but it's a challenge at the end of the day. I've got to base it on certain things. You then get points depending on how well you've done against your calories and how well you've done against your steps. And to get full points for calories in terms of challenge check-ins, you've got to be between 500 and 1,000 under the target that I set. To get full marks on steps, you've got to be 1,500 over. So if I've set you 10,000 steps, I want 11 and a half, right? Now, the bonus points are slightly different. So how I work out the bonus points is for calories, you've got to get full bonus points. I want you. So although I set you 500 to 1,000 over, right, during check-ins, to get full bonus points for calories, you need to be basically 1,000 over. You need to under, right? So if I've set you 14,000 calories a week, I need to see 13,000 a week. That is where I need you to be. Right, so there's quite fine margins, really. And again, it's a challenge. I've got to make it. I can't just give top marks out to everyone for, And what I want to see is I want to see people, I want to see people really push themselves. So although I've said, look, between 500 and 1,000. If the odd week you've gone a little bit over that 1,000, I'm not going to punch you for it because the odd week you will go a little bit under. But I want to see you push yourself right to the limit. Likewise, same with steps. So I've said 1,500 you get top marks, but how far have you pushed yourself past that? And I'm not expecting you to, if I set you 10,000 steps, I'm not expecting you to go and do 20,000 steps. But the odd challenge check-in. Have you gone, I've smashed my steps, I've had a week off, so I've just done loads of walking, or I've done this, or I've done that. I really want to see you take yourself out of your comfort zone. And that's how bonus points, that's how you get the top marks. Yeah. So it's I have all the targets written down here. So steps over target. I want you to be 25% basically over, right? So again, I don't want you to do things unsustainable, but I want you to really drive yourself on, not just hit the targets I set you. Really show me that you've really sort of really gone above and beyond to hit your targets a little bit, because it's a challenge at the end of the day. So I'm quite fair with the each challenge check-ins, and a lot of you guys do really, really well on points. But when it comes to the bonus points, they're bonus points. They're like, and some of you guys have absolutely smashed it. A good few of you guys have absolutely smashed it. So that's kind of how it, how it sort of works. Can't just give top marks out to everyone that's, I've done what you said, Neil. Yeah, it doesn't quite. Do you know what I mean? And it doesn't mean you've not. Look, there's got to be a winner. There's always, every challenge I've done. I've done September 23. This is the 4th challenge I've done, and there is always one person that just goes above and beyond, not to any extreme, but just really I know you sent me this, but I feel I can do this, and I feel, I am going to do this, or I am going to do, and that's kind of it, And in 40,000 day steps to challenge myself, you did a lot of steps. James. You did really, really good. You did really, really good. Roll on the next challenge. I get it fully now. Yeah, and again, the bonus points, they are bonus points. They are, you can get people to do absolutely challenge 12 times. And then I've also got to be realistic with the bonus points. I get people that show me exactly what I want to see calorie wise, yet I'm not seeing that on the scales. And I know it sounds a bit harsh, but the scales don't lie. And I do get some people that are like, this is the calories I've done week in, week out of the challenge. These are my results on the scales. And I'm, then I get people that are like, this is the calories I've done on the challenge. This is the results I'm getting. So we have to accept that if we're maybe hitting, we might be showing on our app what we're not necessarily actually doing in practice. So, there has to be a bit of a reality somewhere. Yeah, that's totally fair. I can imagine it's difficult to work it all out. It takes me, it does. And you know what? Every challenge I've done, and this is the hardest part about doing them. And when I did the first one, I found it so hard because, I love the fact that you're all trying, and I don't want anyone to be demoralized at the end of it and think they've not done good, because everyone that's finished the challenge has done great. They've done just to finish the challenge, put the effort in, be consistent, checking. You've done great. You really, really have. But like I say, with anything, there's always got to be a winner. There's always got to be a winner. So, I've still got a few challenge check-ins to do, and then when there's ties, and there's going to be a couple of ties here and there, then I've got to look at other data and determine again an overall winner. And not to be too cliche. Not to be too cliche, everyone's a winner. They are. But there has to be one overall winner. But I'll get it also. It's going to be tomorrow, because I know a couple of people are checking in tomorrow. So my head's melt. I wouldn't work it all out tonight. I tried to, the first time I ever did a challenge, I was trying to get it out on the same day, trying to go through it all, and I messed it up a little bit. Always learn. We've always got to learn from our mistakes. We really, really have, What are the prizes again, mate? First place gets 500 quid. Second gets 150. Third gets 100. Those are the cash prizes. 5th and 6th, you'll get your next 2 check-ins paid for. 4th and 5th. So you get 2 months free coaching. Now, if you come 4th or 5th and you've paid 12 months up front, I'll sort something out. So I might just extend. So if your 12 months runs out in whatever, like if your 12 months is meant to run out in January, right, I'll extend it to the end of March. So you cover till the end of March. Yeah, it might just extend it. I'll think of something. Yeah. Everyone's a winner, baby. That's the truth. It is. Song in there somewhere. Yes, absolutely. Anyway, right. There we go. I've been so busy this week, only 52,000. That's not bad in total. You've still got a couple of days left to finish off. You should get up to your average 10k a day. Roll on the next challenge. Yes, there will be another one. beginning of September, and I'm going to roll it out. I'm going to give me a few weeks. Give me a few weeks. And I'll roll it out at the beginning of July, because then it is 50 quid to enter the challenge. But if I roll it out at the beginning of July, you can pay one payment at the end of July, one payment at the end of August. So you can split it up a little bit, and it's not a hit all at once. Likewise, some of you might be like, can I pay your deposit now and then can I pay 25 in September? Yeah, of course you can. I'm not. It's fine. Sainsbury's good for zero alcohol. What, a zero alcohol range of beers? Do you know what? I do find I'm going to have a couple tomorrow. I'm trying. I've honestly, last weekend I could have gone for a couple of beers. I really, really could. I do fancy a couple of nice beers. Nothing major, just two. But I'm trying to have my next beer in Benidorm. That is going to be my next beer. 2 weeks tomorrow. So I've got this weekend and next weekend. But I have got a few non-alcoholics in the fridge, so I might have a couple of them tomorrow. Fruit and veg are great from Sainsbury's. Okay, I like that. Like I say, we just don't really have a Sainsbury's that's dead close to us. Give me the push to walk from work to the gym. Loved it. Brilliant, Dan. And again, whether you place in the challenge or not, whether you just look at the bonuses of what it's done. Has it made you more consistent? Has it pushed you on with your movement? Has it, made you more? And what results have you got from it? So yeah, there's always going to be benefits. I'm happy to finish the challenge. Yeah, absolutely. Look, at the end of the day, there's 9 people that didn't. There's 9 people. So anyone that finished the challenge, and again, some of the people that didn't finish the challenge, there's circumstantial over it. There's different reasons behind it. And I don't blame, some people struggle and some people just, some people don't like the competitive, I've not had that this time. But last challenge, someone entered it and they were like, I don't like the pressure it's putting me under. And I'm like, I get that. I totally get that. Some people don't. Some people don't like that extra pressure. Some people it drives them on. Some people don't. First one will probably be in the airport, Neil. It won't be, Callum, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why the first one won't be in the airport, because we fly at 6 a.m. And don't get me wrong, I know it's always 5 p.m. in an airport, but honestly, I'm not like this. Like a 6 a.m. flight, I'm just not, unless it's a stag do or something like that. Unless it's a stag do, I'm literally, I go to Pret in the airport. This is my order. I get a bacon barm, an almond croissant, and a bottle of apple juice. That is my early morning. Now, I'm saying this, when we go to Tenerife in October, we fly at 3:30, and I'll probably book us into lounge, to be honest with you. So I'll be like, right, I'm going to work in the morning, going to leave here at 11, drop Blossom off at Rachel's mum's at about 11:45, get to the airport, and I might have a good 2.5 hours. But at 6 a.m. flight, I do love a 6. I do love a 6 a.m. flight. And like I say, if it was a stag do, would I be having a beer? Yeah. But when I'm just with Rach and I'm with my niece as well, I'm not really that bothered. So I think the first one will be I don't think I'll even bother on playing because it's 2 hours. So we get to the apartment for about 11, and I know we won't be able to check in probably till about 1ish. So I said, so we'll just get in there, drop bags off in the luggage room, go for a walk, get to a bar, get some food, get some dinner, and that will be my first beer, I reckon. I'm flying at 7 p.m. in July, so I'm having a pint or 3. Yeah, absolutely. I think there's like yins and yangs to it, isn't there? Like, I love an airport beer. I really, really do. I think it's one of the top beers you can have. And, my perfect flight, like, don't get me wrong, whenever we go to the Caribbean, you always fly at about so whenever we go to Mexico, we always fly at about 10, 11 in the morning. So you're in the airport for like 7:30. I'd probably have a beer then. But like when we go to Benidorm, I'll be in the airport like for 4 a.m. And like it's a long day, isn't it? It is a long day. So, and once I start, I don't want to stop. That's why it's not like I'll have one beer in the airport and then that's it. If I have a beer in the airport, I'll have a couple on plane. Anyway, there we go. Oh, I'm getting excited talking about holiday. I know broad holiday for me this year, though. Can't afford it. Saving for next year. Well, do you know what? You're at a different you're investing your money in your uni and this, that, and the other. So I totally get it, Callum. And I don't know, when do you finish? You finish this year, don't you? So yeah, definitely get that saving done and get yourself abroad next year. Yeah, we're running an R. We want to go to Mexico in April, so that's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm waiting for a TUI sale to come on. That's going to be my next booking. We've booked Benidorm, we've booked Tenerife. They're all paid for, so we're all sort of, other than spent a bit of spending money while we're there. So yeah, the next one after Tenerife will be Mexico in April. Any plans on a meet-up? There isn't at the moment, Stefan, really. This year's disappearing. And like I said, with Rachel going back to work, it's changed things a little bit. We were kind of like, and ahhing about doing one down south in the UK, but then we go down on the Friday, but then Rachel doesn't want to take time off work because it's annual leave and so on and so forth. So I will sort something out. But to be honest with you, it'll be towards the end of the year anyway, because that's what I did last year. But I will give you a couple of months' notice if we sort one out. I got my final grade today. Got a first class. Oh, amazing, Callum. Well done, mate. That is absolutely amazing. Hard work will always pay off, whether it's on your weight loss journey or it's like Callum at uni. Yeah, hard work, mate, will always pay off. Right. I think that's me for this week. I'm out for this week. I'm going to go and what we're going to do now, I'm going to do Lynn's challenge check-in. Then I'm going to go make some tea, have a little chill me beans, take the dogs out for their final walk of the day. In fact, we only got the other one in about an hour and a half ago, but we'll get the dogs out again. I've done 8,000 steps, so get the dogs out again, get up to me 10K. Then I'm going to be back in here, finishing off a few bits and pieces. And that'll be it. Right, so I'm out of here. Do you ever drink alcohol? I mean, I do, yeah. Not a lot this year. Holidays, definitely. Holidays. And I think other than holidays, I've had 3 drinks in the UK, in England this year, as it were. One for a friend's 50th birthday in April. One was bank holiday, Easter Sunday. And then a couple of weekends ago, I had some mates round and we had a little barbecue and a few beers. Other than that, so I don't know how many days we've done of 2025, but I've only had three beers here. So I do, but not much this year. It's something I've kind of, knocked on the head a little bit. Full of calories, isn't it? Well, you've done so well. Alcohol is full of calories. The calories in alcohol is never an issue. I can always build that into my calorie allowance. My issue with alcohol is I lose my self-control around my food. That has always been my issue with alcohol. So if I go and have a bit of a boozy Saturday, my eating will go out the window on a Sunday. So that's my thing. So the calories in alcohol isn't really the issue. It is how it affects my eating. And then a few days afterwards, if it's a good boozy one, being tired, lethargic, Monday, Tuesday, I don't really like it that much. So holiday, you don't care, do you? You can be tired and lethargic and all. That's what holidays are all about. All I've got to do is drag myself from my bed to my sun lounger. So yeah, I don't mind a few beers on holiday. And it tastes different in the sun anyway. It tastes different abroad, it tastes different in the sun. But yeah, Right, that's it, guys. I am out of it. It's been a pleasure as always. I will be back. Have a wonderful weekend, whatever you're doing. And I'll be back next week, Monday morning, 8:30 a.m. Monday morning. All good. So yeah, have a wonderful weekend. And hopefully if you're free, TikTok will sign up to you first. I'll see you 8:30 a.m. Monday morning. And then over here on YouTube, Facebook, yeah, exactly the same. I will be back 8:30 a.m. Monday. Lots of lives. Make sure you subscribe to my newsletter because I put when I'm live for the following week in my newsletter. You can subscribe to my link tree. If you want to get on plan, you want to come into my community, you need help with your weight loss, that is what I do. So come get on board. Just have a great weekend, and hopefully I'll see you on Monday.